Do you believe it now, Trinity?
The Pacers succeeded in their post-NBA Cup goal of make it to the playoffs in the spring of 2024. Their 47-25 record secured 6-seed Indiana a first-round date with the 3-seed Milwaukee Bucks. Even though the team would be without Benedict Mathurin, who went down for the year in March with a torn labrum, there was still plenty of excitement to go around as they headed for the playoffs. The Bucks were a daunting challenge, sporting a roster that included now 8-time All-NBA player Damian Lillard.
3 seconds, Dame pulls for the win! Oh, Dame time is alive!
Here's his defending. Middleton with the spin, fires good! He's back, Rick.
Not tonight! 3 blocks!
It sure is. Oh! Giannis up high, down hard. Middleton with the feed.
Chris steps in the passing lane. He's going to take it all. Choices. Over to Dame Lillard. He finds Giannis.
Because it happened naturally.
Deep.
Lillard for 3. Bucks by 10. And Giannis. Oh! And take it coast to coast. Nice crossover. With his second pilfer here in this late going. 3-pointer. Malik Beasley. A little shimmy.
We're hard to stop. Oh, Giannis.
That's a nice job finding Jamison wide open, and you know the formula because you've seen success.
Oh, that will work though. 55% from 3. Here comes Giannis. Here comes Giannis.
All season, the Bucks had been spoken of as a true champion contender, looking to bring home the second NBA championship in the career of Giannis Antetokounmpo. But as it turned out, after sustaining a calf injury in April, Antetokounmpo would miss the entirety of the Pacers series. Even without the Greek Freak, the Bucks presented a strong challenge for the Pacers. They were run by former Coach of the Year and former NBA champion Doc Rivers, who had come out of retirement earlier in the season to coach Milwaukee. With Chris Middleton and most of the 2021 championship Bucks core still around, it seemed realistic that the team would be able to outlast the young, inexperienced Pacers and hopefully come back with a healthy Giannis in the second round. The Pacers came into the series with some well-deserved confidence of their own. With Siakam fortifying the lineup, Aaron Nesmith blossoming into a 42% three-point shooter, and Haliburton turning into the league's top assist man, Carlisle's random offense in Indiana soared to second in the league in offensive rating in 2024. Armed with an ability to go on lightning-quick runs like few others in league history, the Pacers fostered a belief that no matter who the opponent, they could beat anyone on any given day. After splitting the first 2 games on the road in Milwaukee, the Pacers headed home to the Gainbridge Fieldhouse for the first home playoff game of the Tyrese Haliburton era. That Game 3 turned out to be an instant hardwood classic.
It'll go to Lopez. Middleton got to look for 3. Got it! Oh,
Miles by.
Miracle in Indianapolis. Middleton drains it to knot it and Haliburton. Siakam, Nesmith for 3. Butter. Timeout Bucks.
Double screen.
Middleton for 3 for the tie. Bangs it. Chris Middleton with a double. 6 seconds to go. Crosses over on Beverly. Float game for the win. Tyrese. The terror.
Not only did he get it up there, but he got a good look.
The lead now is up to 3. Doc Rivers
To see where to throw the ball.
1.6 to go. Middleton for 3.
After Haliburton's running and one clinched Game 3, the Pacers closed out the shorthanded Bucks in 6 games. They closed out Milwaukee with a statement 120-98 blowout in Game 6 at home, securing the franchise's first playoff series win since 2014. Waiting for Indiana in the Eastern Conference semifinals was a new contender in the East, Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks. In 2024, New York was undergoing a basketball renaissance. After spending the vast majority of 2+ decades in the basement of the league, the team had shocked the world by evolving into a 50-win squad, led by an undersized, scoring phenom.
A team that doesn't have any history. There's the three going up.
That's good. A 50-point night for Jalen Brunson, and he's 9 of 9 from three. It's the best three-point shooting game by a Knick since Latrell Sprewell went 9 for 9 back in for the year. Johnson's got it. It's Brooklyn and Anunoby. And Hart saves it for Randall. Overhead. Bounce. Back for Tyler Jam. Incredible. Picked up by Brunson. Brunson inside to Hart. Hart's backs it in. Foul. Knicks take the lead. Monty Williams is 4 of 13 from behind the arc. Here's a three. Bang! There it is. Number 11. Dante DiVincenzo.
And Brunson has 61 points. This one is Brunson, 2-1. He rises up and scores. At 4, Hart fakes. Hart tries another three-pointer. Oh, it's good! Knocks down another!
The Nova Knicks, as they were known at the time, were coming off a thrilling series win of their own where they took down Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey's Philadelphia 76ers.
Hartenstein gets it out to Anunoby. DiVincenzo a three. Bang! Bang! Knicks take a 1-point lead with 13.
Led by Wildcat legends Brunson, Josh Hart, and Dante DiVincenzo, this upstart New York squad was hungry to make its first Eastern Conference Finals appearance since 2000. Before the series even tipped off, the stage seemed to be getting set for the renewal of one of the greatest rivalries in the history of the game. Generations of both Pacers and Knicks fans have no shortage of memories of heavyweight battles between these two squads. It began when Indiana and New York first ran into each other during the first round of the 1993 playoffs. Pat Riley's Knicks won 60 games in the regular season that year, and they were heavily favored over the Pacers, who had barely squeaked into the playoffs with a .500 record. After the Knicks won the first 2 games at Madison Square Garden, tensions boiled so much on the court that John Starks headbutted Reggie Miller, leading to an ejection and a new tone for competition going forward between those two organizations. Going forward, when these two teams met each other on the court, it would become a physical and mental war. Trash talking became the norm, fights became common, and legendary moments became essential for either team to defeat the other as the Clinton administration wore on. The Knicks succeeded over the Pacers in 1993 and in 1994, famously with no help from Spike Lee in Celebrity Row. The Knicks were the first of the two to win the Eastern Conference entirely when they defeated Indiana, who was now being coached by Larry Brown, in the 1994 Eastern Conference Finals, in 7 phenomenal games. It was New York's Patrick Ewing with the first great kill shot of the rivalry, delivering a putback dunk to send the Knicks to the NBA Finals.
Here's Starks. John Starks with the throw. Ewing puts it down. And the Knicks by 1.
Reggie's airball in the waning seconds of Game 7 left a bitter taste in Indiana's mouth, but the Pacers were able to get their revenge in even more spectacular fashion the very next year. In Game 1 of the 1995 Eastern Conference semifinals between Indiana and New York, Reggie Miller delivered his magnum opus of clutch time moments.
Playoff game. Miller for 3, and he got it. Reggie Miller with a clutch tray, and it's 105-102. And a steal. Miller retreats to the three-point line and hits again.
Tie game.
After Reggie's famous 8 points in 8.9 seconds stole Game 1 and home court advantage for the Pacers, Indiana went on to win the series in 7 games. A Ewing miss to close it out acted as the cherry on top of the sundae for Indiana. They had ended the Knicks' chances of repeating as Eastern Conference champs, and had ended the Pat Riley era in New York as well. In round 4 of the rivalry, Larry Legend was now manning the sidelines for Indiana in 1998. Now, it was Indiana who was walking into the series as odds-on favorites. They performed as expected, toppling Jeff Van Gundy's Knicks in 5 games behind strong performances from Miller, Rick Smits, and New York native Chris Mullin. 1999 brought another classic series between these two now uniquely bitter rivals. With the trip to the NBA Finals on the line, the Pacers found themselves face-to-face with a reloaded Knicks squad that now featured Hall of Famer Larry Johnson and post-chokeout Latrell Sprewell. In Game 2 of the series, Ewing went down with an Achilles tear, effectively ending his series. But just when it looked like the Pacers would be able to cruise to their first Finals appearance in franchise history, Grandmama responded with his signature legendary moment.
Is fouled and hit!
The Knicks went on to win the 1999 Eastern Finals in 6 games behind strong performances from Johnson, Sprewell, and Allen Houston. Sure enough, Episode 6 of Pacers-Knicks was right on the way. The two teams met in this era for the final time in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2000, and this time, the difference was former Fab Five legend Jalen Rose. The 2000 Most Improved player had evolved into a much more efficient co-star next to the aging Miller, and the pair were finally able to lead Indiana to the NBA Finals in 2000.
Conference.
So the final score, 93-80. The Indiana Pacers on their way to the NBA Finals for the first time in their history.
Miller got the last laugh in this iteration of the rivalry, scoring 34 points in the closeout game at Madison Square Garden. 6 meetings in 8 seasons led to a special form of hostility between the Indiana and New York fan bases. Combined, the Pacers and Knicks had won the East 3 times in those 8 seasons, and all 3 times, each rival always had to topple the other in the Eastern Finals on their way to their finals appearance. The gravity to each series aided in making the battles between those two teams legend. A litany of memorable moments, and oftentimes hostile ones, have stuck with both fan bases for decades as a result. It is a rare time in modern professional sports where both fan bases feel like they can take part in a true good versus evil battle. Rational or not, the fans feel like they can see the contrast on the screen separated plainly. One side is the good guys, who play basketball the right way, and the other guys are evil, who play ball the wrong way. It's the Hatfields and the McCoys, the Montagues and the Capulets. It's the kind of truly bitter rivalry that you usually only see these days in college sports. Another playoff series between these two teams in 2013 briefly reminded the basketball world about the wonderful rivalry that existed between these two cities, but the Andrea Bargnani trade quickly ended the chances of that series getting run back anytime quickly. In the 2024 Eastern Conference semifinals, the seeds seemed to be getting sowed for a true rekindling of a once great rivalry. The Knicks were now being coached by 2-time Coach of the Year Tom Thibodeau, and they had readopted the physical, tough-minded brand of basketball that had defined the Knicks' run of contention in the 90s. Brunson, New York's frontman, had evolved from a 6-Man of the Year candidate in Dallas to an MVP candidate during his first 2 years playing at the Garden.
Brunson goes inside, foul from behind, shot is good and one! Jalen Brunson, the gift that keeps on giving, and the Knicks...
His elite footwork and smooth jump shot made him an offensive threat that would require the attention of 2 to 4 defenders for the entirety of the playoff. He was also coming off a historic showing in the first round against the 76ers. On the other side, the Pacers with Carlisle were an overlooked underdog, with a flashy, clutch sharpshooter leading the way. Both teams were young and trending up. The stage was set for a classic in Game 1, and both sides delivered.
Brunson already with 8, and maybe 10. Brunson dominating early. Great block by Turner. That was something else. Turner, no look inside. Turner from beyond the arc. Haliburton finds Siakam, and Siakam
on the year and gives up the most points in the paint.
And add 2 more for the Knicks in the paint as Brunson hits again. Haliburton, 3-pointer flies, it is good. It's an unorthodox stroke, but he makes it work, and Haliburton stretches this Pacers lead to 7. Oh, it goes! Hardenstein! McConnell kicks it. Turner, 3-pointer off in time, it's good! And he's got it. And now Nembhard on Brunson, 3-pointer flies, and Brunson rips the cords, makes it a 2-point game. A contested 3.
Wow, and that's his first 3.
Brunson shifty, looking for contact. Brunson got it. Sitting on 40. Kicks it, DiVincenzo, 3-pointer. Down it goes. Dante DiVincenzo puts the Knicks up 3.
No timeouts for Indiana.
Brunson torched the Pacers for 43 points, and after the Big Ragoo's late 3 clinched Game 1 for New York, the Pacers quickly found themselves heading back to Indiana, down 2-0 in the series.
Haliburton step back high, arcing 3 is good.
A lot of contact there. DiVincenzo three-pointer. Puts it in. Haliburton. DiVincenzo in for serve. Turner gets a clean look for three. It's good. Drives inside. Stops. Elbow jumper. It's good. Hart down the middle. Drives inside. Blocked by Turner. Brunson step back three. Bang!
With their backs against the wall, the Pacers called on one of their young wings for a miracle.
Nembhard's got to put it up. Step back. His three-pointer. Bang! Nembhard knocks the three down. Timeout, Knicks.
After Andrew Nembhard's big shot in Game 3, the Pacers blew out the Knicks in Game 4 to even the series at 2 games apiece. Helping work the team back from an 0-2 deficit, T.J. McConnell provided a big spark for Indiana off the bench in this series, rekindling his Knick-killing ways from his time with Philly. Each team then won at home in Games 5 and 6, setting the stage for Game 7 at Madison Square Garden. The series had lived up to the hype. Both teams were clearly better than most had realized, and the increasingly chippy contests had made both fan bases feel like they were rewatching the famous 90s battles. With the trip to the Eastern Conference Finals on the line, the Pacers flew out of the gate, scoring 39 points in the first quarter of Game 7 on the road.
Turner, corner three is good. Miles Turner continues to shoot so well from downtown. Well, you see in this series and throughout the playoffs, the team has turned the ball over yet. Haliburton stops, shoots, and scores. McConnell topping part of that bench. Three-pointer is good. Haliburton again is good. Haliburton another three. Puts it in. Tyrese Haliburton, 14 points. Here in the first quarter, it's a 15-point lead.
They led 70-55 at halftime, and after Jalen Brunson went down with a hand injury in the second half, Indiana cruised to its first ever Game 7 win at MSG.
And the Indiana Pacers back in the conference finals, first time in a decade.
The Pacers shot a playoff record 67% in that Game 7. Led by Haliburton's 26 points, the Pacers proved then and there that there was no such thing as a stage too big for them. Next up for Indiana was the heavily favored Boston Celtics. Led by Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, the C's had obliterated their competition to get to the 2020 Eastern Finals.
Tatum, three. Another three! Oh, he's a flamethrower in the third. Tatum with three. Got too many easy baskets in Denver.
Presented by Intuit QuickBooks.
Yeah, well, the Celtics getting the...
Pritchard to beat the clock. Count it and a foul.
Pritchard here just pulling the desperation shot.
Jordan Poole in the post, spinning away, getting an easy two. Where he's going to go, watch him do work. The spin move, and the easy layup.
Tatum the rebound, the long pass. Porzingis fakes it.
Rebound by Tatum. Oh, got it already. Out to Porzingis. Takes his time. Dribbles.
It's going to turn over. The two challenge go to work. Brown to Tatum. And the Celtics flow in this series. White with a shot fake and drives and throws it down. Derek White. White coming off 38 in Game 4. On a burner here in Game 5.
Tatum trying to turn the corner.
Brown from deep. He buries it.
Champion in Florida and all the success he's had. And there's another steal by Horford.
For his second.
You see here Horford again coming up with the deflection that leads to the easy run out.
Corey doesn't seem to be in a rush. Here he comes, accelerates. Cash money. Holiday on the catch.
In Game 1 of the series, Indiana shocked the heavily favored Celtics just by giving them a real game.
Nembhard goes him. Horford pulls up jumper. Puts it in. Three. Throw it in the corner. Brown fakes. Fires up the three. Bang! Bang! Jaylen Brown. Haliburton. Step back. Three-pointer. Got it! Tyrese gets it inside. Tatum across the lane. Count it and a foul. Chasing White. White continues down the lane. Up to Tatum. Sidestep. Three-pointer. Puts it up. Bang!
Indiana lost Game 1 because of a predictable flaw. the team could not make stops consistently. Carlisle's offense may have been second in offensive rating, but his defense that season ranked 24th in defensive rating. Teams just can't win championships in the NBA with bottom-half defense.
Lost the ball, got it back, kicks it out. White, corner three, bang! Derek White from downtown!
The Pacers gave a valiant effort, but ultimately, Boston went on to sweep the upstart Pacers on their way to securing the 18th championship in franchise history.
Brown has it, final seconds. That's it, it's over. The Celtics are heading back to the NBA Finals. And another...
The Celtics were peaking at this time with their Tatum and Brown core. They lost just 3 games in the entire playoff that season. Truth be told, there wasn't much that the Pacers could do. Indiana was understandably disappointed with how their season ended in 2025, but nonetheless, they had proved that they could contend with anyone in 2024. Looking onward to 2025, the entire team knew that if they stayed together and kept improving, they could beat anyone. Once the offseason was underway, Chad Buchanan went to work solidifying his core. On June 19, 2024, the Pacers signed Pascal Siakam to a 4-year, $189.5 million extension. After arriving in Indy via trade in January, Siakam became the 3rd player to average 35 points and 10 rebounds in each of his first 2 playoff games, joining Elgin Baylor in 1961 and Wilt Chamberlain in 1967. He even scored 367 total points in his 2024 playoff run, the most for a Pacers player since Paul George in 2014. He succeeded in taking over as Indy's leading scorer, and now he was locked up long-term. Buchanan believed that he had identified the perfect complementary star for Haliburton on the court, and he showed that belief in his financial commitment. On July 24th, the Pacers signed Andrew Nembhard to a 3-year, $59 million extension. The former second-round pick had already etched himself into Hoosier legend with his 3 to sink the Knicks in Game 3 of the Eastern Semis, but this team still felt like he had room to grow, specifically on the defensive side of the ball. Nembhard's defensive growth would become a key factor for the team going forward. During the quiet offseason, Indiana's backcourt got some extra big-game experience in Paris as part of the 2024 Summer Olympics. Nembhard and Benedict Mathurin were both invited to Team Canada's training camp ahead of the Olympic Games. While Mathurin was still rehabbing his labrum injury over the summer and couldn't go, Nembhard joined Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Lou Dort on Team Canada's roster.
Nembhard, 5 to shoot. And that one goes down.
On a loaded squad that included guys like Jamal Murray, RJ Barrett, and Dillon Brooks, the Canadians flew through Group A play, going undefeated at 3-0. Team Canada was sadly upset in the quarterfinals by Team France, who advanced despite lackluster performances from their star-studded frontcourt of Victor Wembanyama and Rudy Gobert. While Indiana's shooting guard was finishing 6th for Team Canada in scoring, Indiana's starting point guard was having a very different experience representing the Americans. While Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant were leading Team USA to gold over Frank Ntilikina and the French, Tyrese Haliburton was contributing by helping Tatum grab waters for Bam Adebayo and the other guys along the road to gold. Steve Kerr, Team USA's head coach, just didn't seem to have much interest in handing the offense to Hallie over living legends like Steph and LeBron. Not really that much of an insult. Haliburton didn't see much of the court during the 2024 Olympics, but he played the Christian Laettner on the Dream Team role perfectly. Hallie sat back, cameoed in team photos, and did his homework while he watched the 3 greatest winners of the last 10 years lead another team to basketball glory.
Don't get rattled by the moment, and we've all been in those type of scenarios before where you kind of just have to meet the moment.
2 different learning experiences, but learning nonetheless. At the beginning of the 2024-2025 season, the Pacers believed in their status as contenders in the East, but few outside of Indiana felt the same way. They opened the season with plus 6,600 championship odds, which was tied for the 17th best odds in the entire league. Even after making it to the Eastern Conference Finals ahead of schedule, Vegas still felt comfortable giving better championship odds to teams like Zion Williamson's New Orleans Pelicans and the trending down Miami Heat. The primary cause for doubt about the Pacers was that their 2 series wins from 2024 came against broken-down opponents. Two-time MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo never played a game against the Pacers in the first round, and two-time All-NBA player Julius Randle never played a game against the Pacers in the second. Add on OG Anunoby, the Brunson burner, and Josh Hart all going down at some point or another during the second round, and it was easy to see why so many were quick to dismiss the Pacers' 2024 Eastern Conference Finals run.
Wannabe All-Star, let me keep it that way. He's in his second year. He's a very good player. He's not going to make the All-Star team. A guy like Julius Randle or Jalen Brunson will make it over Tyrese Haliburton.
As a fluke. Not so different than the Hawks' fluke a couple years prior. That national doubt only increased when the Pacers stumbled out of the gate at the season's start. When the calendar flipped to 2025, the Pacers were the not-so-proud owners of a 16-18 overall record. They had the talent, but they were struggling to put it all together on the court. On December 15th, 2024, the Pacers brought in backup center Thomas Bryant to help solidify their front court defense. Bryant became the last piece of Buchanan's rotation as the season went along. Starting with a win over the Miami Heat on January 2nd, 2025, the Pacers finally took off.
Stop, start, jab, shot. Oh, Haliburton cut it.
Him with 2 jump shots. This is rare. Look at this. This is a rare jump shot.
Mark goes inside. Siakam for 3.
Miles did a heck of a job again. Not a bounds violation. You can watch Miles. He just crushed Paul George.
I mean, that's true. Here's Nembhard gets inside. Count the basket.
You got to get it north and south. And this is close to north and south as you're going to get. You get it by Nembhard by just driving the ball to the inside. And once you do that, the defense normally more of in this game. And that's getting a bucket going to the basket. I'm telling you, Miles on this, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can see. Keep cutting. Looking good. Nice reverse left-handed by DC.
Mismatch with Turner on him. Crossover. Jammed up. Scooped up. Up the floor. And top it. The little dunkers.
Side of the backboard. And the Pacers running back with 4 minutes left and down by 6. Make that 4.
His 6th assist, no look. Catching the Jazz. Not getting back in time on transition defense.
Turner with a right-hand flush. Last Turner, all 6 of his points in this point.
And the rookie here, Haliburton challenging on the drop-off that puts wear on him.
Great job by Miles. Anticipate on the weak side.
Haliburton in the corner. His 3 is good.
The Pacers peaked at the right time, winning 34 of their last 48 games of the season. More importantly, their prized rising superstar Tyrese Haliburton had finally evolved into one of the game's most unique superstars. His usage and shots per game numbers were both down from 2024, but both turned out to be necessary sacrifices on his way to becoming the perfect quarterback of Carlisle's random offense. He orchestrated the fast-paced offense with a magnificent grace, maximizing the skill set of everyone around him. Carlisle and Hallie both knew that for the team to succeed against the true powers of the Eastern Conference, they would need guys like Nembhard, Nesmith, and Mathurin to all take strides on both sides of the basketball. So he spread the targets around like he was going for the Heisman, slinging the rock and setting each of his teammates up for success as well as possible.
Mendoza in trouble. It's out.
In 2025, Haliburton evolved into the 2.0 version of Steve Nash, a sharpshooting floor general operating a lightning-fast offense predicated on making quick decisions, pushing pace, and always finding the open man.
Nash takes him off the dribble, wrap around to Stoudemire, and the foul. What a pass from Steve Nash.
Buchanan's $260 million gamble from 2 years prior was paying off dividends. The guard once cast aside by Sacramento had firmly become the crown jewel of trade returns from Chad Buchanan deals. Haliburton finished the season with 19-point and 9 assist per game averages, netting him All-NBA honors for the second season in a row. Siakam led the team in scoring, pouring in 20 points per game and earning a trip to his third career All-Star game along the way. Aaron Nesmith evolved to a 43% three-point shooter in the 2025 regular season as well, and a now healthy Benedict Mathurin added 16 points per game of his own. Miles Turner, Andrew Nembhard, and Obi Toppin each averaged double-digit points per game as well, while Indiana's deep, fast offense clicked into gear. They finished with a 50-32 record, good for the number 4 seed in the Eastern Conference playoff. More importantly, the Pacers had made a huge leap on defense. Led by the frontcourt duo of Siakam and Turner, the defense jumped from the 24th ranked unit in the league in 2024 to the 13th ranked unit in 2025. Having outlasted the Bucks and Knicks in 2024 in large part thanks to their depth, Indiana was banking on another deep rotation to lead them to playoff success in 2025. The starting five of Haliburton, Nembhard, Nesmith, Siakam, and Turner were important, but the bench squad of Mathurin, McConnell, Toppin, Thomas Bryant, and Ben Shepherd would also be integral to the team's playoff performance. Their depth, grit, and team-first mentality harken back to the Bad Boys-era Detroit Pistons of the late 1980s. That team, led by Hoosier legend Isaiah Thomas, won back-to-back championships in 1989 and 1990, despite having 0 20-point-per-game scorers in either season. The tight-knit squad was put together by GM Jack McCloskey, also known as Trader Jack, because of his uncanny ability to swing impactful deals. Just like how McCloskey acquired 5 of Detroit's 9-man title rotation in 1989 via trade, Buchanan acquired 5 of Indiana's 10-man 2025 rotation also via trade. This is why I felt comfortable referring to Buchanan as Trader Chad for so much of this video. Depth, improved defense, and continued high-powered offense were to be the Pacers' bread and butter in the spring and summer of 2025. While the confidence was brimming inside of Indiana's locker room, few outside of it were convinced that the Pacers were for real heading into the 2025 playoffs. That point was highlighted when the Athletic's annual anonymous survey results came out, when it was revealed that Haliburton had been voted most overrated player by his own peers. Just like Vegas on opening day, the actual peers of Haliburton still doubted his ability to lead a team to glory, the same peers that Haliburton had spent the better part of 2 seasons dominating in transition. Heading into the playoffs, Haliburton and the Pacers still had a massive chip on their shoulder. They were out to prove that not only were they contenders, they should also be favorites, too. The first round offered Indiana another first-round matchup with the Milwaukee Bucks. Only this time, Giannis Antetokounmpo would be ready to go for the series.
Right into a shooting pocket and then right there draw some contact.
Crosses over, shovel pass, and count! Giannis gets the block!
That becomes a sleeper but a dream, and then watch this block by Giannis. That's a great job, didn't give up on the
Ran a little physicality doing that.
Alley-oop, oh my goodness, only Giannis can finish a play like that.
Gets it back, working against Dunn underneath, and puts it down.
Takes off the pass, needs him out. Here's Giannis! Woo! Start the party! Giannis Antetokounmpo! The officials have their earpieces in. Dave, oh, wow! The connection!
The Greek Freak rebounded from his early end of 2024 with a banner year in 2025. Finishing third in the MVP vote, he averaged a cool 30 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists per game. Another difference this time around was that Indiana would have home court advantage in the series. The Pacers went 6-2 at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse in 2024 and were looking to build on that momentum with their passionate fans supporting them. Even with the Greek Freak back on the court at full strength, the Bucks were no match for the Pacers this time around. The Pacers won both games 1 and 2 at home before stealing a 3-1 series lead in Game 4 in Milwaukee. Damian Lillard was sidelined for the season when he went down in Game 4 with a torn Achilles, and in Game 5, Indiana looked towards their superstar to send the Bucks home extra early.
Haliburton, 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Haliburton for the lead. 1.3 to go.
Hallie's game-winning layup to close out the Bucks series fueled the fire to the slowly building suspicion that Haliburton might be the next great closer in NBA history. Individual recognition aside, the Pacers' entire unit made a statement against the Bucks. This wasn't a lucky draw with injury luck. Indiana was better than Milwaukee, with or without Damian Lillard. Waiting in the Eastern semis for Indiana was the top-seeded Cleveland Cavaliers, winners of 64 games in the regular season the Cavs marched into the playoffs with a loaded roster, featuring 6-time All-Star Donovan Mitchell, Defensive Player of the Year Evan Mobley, All-Star center Jarrett Allen, and the #1 offense in basketball.
Looking to create, dumps off to Gibson, swatted by Mobley. Garland slings it to LeVert. There's Mobley. Hey, he's got another. Evan Mobley.
And just watching this young man blossom into an all-around complete offensive force. That three.
Yeah, Mitchell cuts. Mitchell twists. Oh, and a circuit shot by Donovan Mitchell.
Now you see me, and now you don't.
Garland kicks it out. Mitchell a three. Bang!
Shot clock at 8. Garland against Hauser again. Garland shake and bake 2-pointer. Got it! Darius Garland knocks it down.
Every single second, Trent Jr. pokes it away. Mitchell for the lead with .3.
Ouch.
The Cavs go up 114 to 113 in a timeout.
Cavaliers have now won an astonishing season best 16 straight, 20 of their last. Get picked up by Reese. Find Allen. Allen back to Hunter. Hey! Knocks it down. The Blazers.
Into Thompson, and he missed the dunk.
Yeah, that's what Jarrett Allen does. He can test everything.
Garland lobbed the catch to stop.
And this was just a little more special as your Cavaliers are now the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. They will enjoy home court.
In the second round, all eyes were on the Pacers' defense heading into the series. If the team couldn't make timely stops, like they hadn't in 2024, they had no chance of beating Cleveland. With a defense-first mindset adopted in a spread-out, unpredictable offensive attack that saw all 5 Pacer starters score at least 13, Indiana stole Game 1 of the series in Cleveland. With the top-seeded Cavs needing to save the split at home, Indiana and Cleveland delivered an all-time classic in Game 2.
+1. How did he finish that shot? Neesmith with his 5th triple of the night. Mitchell, double team, gets it to Struz from deep. On the wing, Siakam attacks and lays it in. It's a 1-possession game, 20. You foul here immediately if you're Rick Carlisle.
I do. Oh, my goodness.
There's a steal. Nembhard. Haliburton sizes up Jerome, and here he comes to the cup. Contact.
Rallying from down 7 with 48 seconds to go, the ball once again found itself in the hands of Tyrese Haliburton with the game on the line.
9 seconds. They do have a timeout. Carlisle's going to let him play. Haliburton steps back and hits.
Indiana had overcome a 48-point outing from Mitchell and was now the proud owner of a commanding series lead heading back to Indy. The legend of Hallie was continuing to grow. After dropping Game 3, the Pacers blew out the Cavs 129-109 in Game 4 to grab a 3-1 series lead. 2 days later, Indiana closed out the series on the road, sending the franchise back to the Eastern Conference Finals for the second time in as many seasons.
The Indiana Pacers, this resurgent, ascending.
The team's defense had risen to the challenge, and nobody embodied that defensive jump more than Andrew Nembhard. Paired with an offensive-minded point guard who was constantly seeking to run in transition, Nembhard was the player most often tasked with defending the opposing team's best lead guard. A minus defender in 2024, Nembhard had improved his defensive win shares by a full point in 2025, evolving into one of the more pesky, savvy defenders in the entire league. He has become elite at pulling the chair on reckless drivers into the paint, and his overall defensive jump helped raise the entire ceiling of the team defense in the 2025 playoffs. Indiana had a day with destiny waiting for them in the Eastern Conference Finals. For the second season in a row, they were coming face-to-face with Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks. Like Indy, this New York squad was much, much more dangerous than the one that had existed 365 days prior. The Knicks made a pair of massive moves in the last offseason, acquiring offensive juggernaut and 2-time All-NBA center Karl Anthony Towns.
Here's Brunson to the lane. Towns, well, if the Knicks were looking to... Brunson back. Towns puts it on a 4, drives past Lopez, and the slam.
has also come on for the Warriors. Towns, step back, jump shot.
On ESPN2. Towns insisting his way to the cup.
Towns wants it. Fires. It hits.
Clock down to 5. Here's Towns from 3. It's good! Karl Anthony Towns with the dagger. 3-point field goal.
And two-way Wildcat Mikal Bridges via trade in order to supplement their own superstar point guard. The Nova Knicks were no longer a heartwarming story of shocking success built on vibes. This Knicks team had a much more serious demeanor and chance at winning the title. Winners of 51 games in the regular season, the Brunson-Cat duo led the number 5 ranked offense in the entire league, earning both players starting spots in the All-Star game that year. They weren't catching anyone by surprise anymore, as Brunson's nose for crunch time success was becoming the stuff of legends in New York.
Brunson stops on a dime, launches. Oh yeah! Jalen Brunson buries it!
Brunson was named the NBA Clutch Player of the Year in 2025, and he and Towns both earned All-NBA honors as well. While Indy was taking care of business in Cleveland, on the other side of the bracket, the Knicks were pulling off a stunning upset of the reigning champion Boston Celtics. New York stole both games 1 and 2 on the road in Boston and pulled off a dramatic win in Game 4, where Tatum and Brunson orchestrated one of the great heavyweight playoff battles in league history. The two went toe-to-toe in the fourth quarter, putting on an all-time scoring clinic, one fit for the big screen.
The Knicks have gotten a few. Tatum steps back, three-pointer. It's good! Jason Tatum, his 6th three-pointer, and the game lays it up and in. An awkward alley-oop, but a successful one. Tatum, one side dribble, and hits another 3. 39 points for Jason Tatum, his 7th three-pointer. Back up by 3. Anunoby all over him. Tatum sneaks underneath, count it, and a foul. Hesitation, flips it up with the left hand, back shot's good. 33 for Jalen Brunson. Brunson drives, gets past Horford, stops, pulls up, two-pointer, got it. Brunson looking, step back, three-pointer. It's good, rattled around and dropped through. Knicks up a dozen.
In the end, Tatum went down with an Achilles injury, and the Knicks, after dominating Game 6 at the Garden, were on their way to their first Eastern Conference Finals appearance since 2000. This Pacers-Knicks series was not like the one in 2024. Neither team could be just happy with being there. The finals were on the line now with the reigning champs down for the count, and both squads felt like this was their time to shine. Remember, from 1994 to 2000, these two rivals only ever won the East by going through the other in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, instead of Ewing versus Miller, Brunson versus Haliburton was the heavyweight matchup about to unfold between New York and Indiana. With that, we head to Game 1.
Knifing his way inside. Got it. Well, the Knicks had a little confusion. Indiana was 29-3, Reggie, when he scored 20. Oh! That'll count. Brunson. They love him on the perimeter. He played this way against Boston. 3 Haliburton. Oh, wow. Brunson chipping his way inside to get it go.
Playing downhill.
After a hard-fought 43 minutes, Indiana found themselves down 113-98 with just under 5 minutes to go. Then, Aaron Nesmith started to get hot.
Defensively, Nesmith 3, good, got it. The rim protector on the floor as well. Nesmith 3, good, another one from Nesmith again, 3, got it. He's a flamethrower. Controversy there was. Nesmith, it's a 3, it's a 2-point game.
After sinking 6 threes in the last 5 minutes, the Pacers had a chance to steal Game 1 at the Garden. They had trailed by 9 points with 51 seconds to go.
He'll take it. He'll backpedal a 3 for the win. And goal! He got it!
The sequel to Reggie's winning time had arrived. Growing up a wrestling fan, Haliburton had fully realized his destiny as the next great NBA heel. In other words, Hallie was fully embracing his role as the bad guy.
He'll take it. He'll backpedal a 3 for the win. And goal! He got it! Brunson at the other end. the ball. There's the screen. Now the switch. Inside. That's for two. And Indiana recaptures. Caught by Hart. Out to Towns. To tie. No! Rebound. Fought for. Loose. Bridges has got it. Clock is ticking. Out of bounds. It's Indiana's ball with .2 to go.
In Game 2, it was Pascal Siakam who played the hero for Indiana. Siakam went off for 39 points in Game 2, making 15 of 23 shot attempts from the field.
Pascal Siakam. Siakam spins off Brunson with a nice fake. The collision, the two.
Siakam.
Bridges will defend. Siakam three.
He's killing him.
He's killing him. Brunson, it's a three. Rebound, snared inside. Haliburton, Siakam on the breakaway, and he takes it in.
After the Knicks rebounded in Game 3, the Pacers waltzed into Game 4 confident that they could all but put away the Knicks with the decisive win that night.
Three, Brunson, bucket. Each team, the pedal to the metal. Towns, three.
Back in the ballgame.
Anunoby hard charging to the rack. 2-on-1 with the trailer in Siakam. It's Siakam sidestepping and scooping it home.
The duo of Haliburton and Siakam outplayed Brunson and Towns in Game 4. Hallie poured in a 32-point, 15-assist, and 12-rebound triple-double with 4 steals in the game, while Siakam added 30 points and 5 rebounds of his own. Their two-man game lifted Indiana to a 3-1 series lead, one win away from the second NBA Finals appearance in franchise history. A big bodega 24-point, 13-rebound onslaught in Game 5 kept the Knicks alive in the series, setting up Indiana with the chance to clinch at home in Game 6 at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
An open Neesmith for three. And now here comes Siakam putting up a three. Pascal Siakam knocks down. Haliburton wide open, his three.
No hesitation.
Now, Miles Turner's trying to block out. Turner's going over the top of him. You've got to jump to get the ball. Bryant had the block. Siakam the other way. Count it.
He can get into paint. That's when good things happen.
Bridges tried to drive. Ball knocked away. Loose and picked up Nembhard the other way. Neesmith. Shot clock in single digits. Turner a screen. Haliburton will chip and fire.
Haliburton netted 21 points and dished out 13 assists, while Obi Toppin added 18 points off the bench against his old team. And just like that, the Pacers, for the first time since 2000, were headed back to the NBA Finals.
It's been a quarter of a century since Indiana has gone to the Finals. But for the first time in 25 years, they are going to the NBA Finals.
The conclusion of the 2025 Eastern Conference Finals marked the end of one era, that being the era of the NBA on TNT, but it also represented the true beginning of a new era of the Knicks-Pacers rivalry. 25 years after Patrick and Reggie's final duel, New York and Indiana had finally recaptured the gravity, quality of play, and genuine apoplexy that makes this rivalry truly great. With conference realignment reshaping the way college rivalries are born, and increased interleague play destroying the sanctity of once great divisional rivalries in Major League Baseball, it has become rare in sports to see what exists between the Pacers and the Knicks. Thanks to Siakam's scoring, Neesmith's floor spacing, Nembhard's savvy defense, and the bench unit's production, bragging rights were firmly in Indiana in 2025. Defeating the Knicks in the East Finals fully cemented Tyrese Haliburton as an all-caps legend of Hoosier basketball. He improved to 2-0 against New York in playoff competition and helped pull the Pacers' all-time record against the Knicks to 6-3 in playoff settings. Upon Indiana's arrival in the NBA Finals, many around the sports world were astounded to see the Pacers' involvement. They represented the lowest preseason title odds of any team that actually made the season's finals since Carlisle's 2011 Dallas Mavericks, 14 years earlier. Once again, Carlisle was determined to prove to the world that not a small number of immensely talented players, but a team of talented, complementary pieces would be able to top a juggernaut on the game's greatest stage. The juggernaut this time around was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Oklahoma City Thunder.
No foul, another transition opportunity, Showtime Williams!
NBA.com, visit the Grizzlies fight hard, but Oklahoma City.
Quite a different story from game one. That's not working either. Jokic tried to hit Westbrook. Upstairs, slapped down. Jalen Williams climbs the imaginary ladder.
Against that Denver zone, Williams touches paint with the 7 points. Archstein running the floor. Beautiful pass. For transition defense there. A second. Williams pumps it away. Jokic trying to get it. Williams comes away and throws it down. The Thunder right now in control. The dreams of a title for the Thunder are still alive. OKC is going because of it. Up top, Holmgren. This is a three-pointer. Won't go. Mason Wallace, another offensive rebound. Holmgren right there on the follow. 8 on the 24. Williams puts it in. Jalen Williams answers once again. Williams, jumper is good. They just will not let up. They are relentless.
But I think this year so far, it's still been encouraging. And another block by Chet Holmgren.
Well, the magical season continues. The Oklahoma City Thunder are going back to the NBA Finals.
Led by the 2024 Coach of the Year, Mark Daigneault, the Thunder had been the heavy favorites to win the title all season long. SGA, the league's 2025 regular season MVP, averaged a league-high 33 points per game.
Already with 3 assists.
In this first quarter. Stops, goes right back to work, and lays it up and in. Unfair business from SGA. Some open space to fire it up, and he does for 3. Yes.
And that's the exact spot where he made 19 in a row.
Ryan's guarding. Shea didn't get the double. Stan goes right to the rack. Banks it home right ahead of the clock. Shea, the setback shot. He's got 42. Offense here in the second half. Look how far back.
In addition to the MVP, OKC owned one of the truly great defensive units in the history of the game. Perimeter defenders like Jalen Williams, Lou Dort, and Alex Caruso perfectly complemented the rim-protecting frontcourt that consisted of rising star Chet Holmgren and former member of the Knicks-Pacers feud, Isaiah Hartenstein. OKC, housing their own uniquely raucous and passionate NBA arena, won a league-high 68 games in the regular season. SGA and J-Dub were both All-NBA, and J-Dub and Lou Dort were both named to the NBA's all-defensive teams. They dispatched the Nikola Jokic Denver Nuggets and Anthony Edwards Minnesota Timberwolves in the West playoffs to earn just their second NBA Finals appearance. Oklahoma City's 2025 defense and depth reminded a lot of basketball fans of the early days of the San Antonio Spurs dynasty of the 2000s, spearheaded by Hall of Fame two-way players Tim Duncan and David Robinson.
And the San Antonio Spurs with tough defense. And Tim Duncan answering a lot of questions.
Two franchises seeking their first NBA championship, two stars seeking the ultimate validation of basketball superstardom, and two passionate, small-market fan bases were clashing in the 2025 NBA Finals. Ahead of Game 1 tip-off from the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City, the Thunder were 9.5-point favorites to defeat the Pacers, but if you were expecting Indiana to back down against the mighty Thunder, I suspect you just haven't been paying attention at this point.
Mike Siakam, Wallace on him again, the height advantage, and Siakam once again knocks it down.
Shea on the handle, Haliburton on him, pulls up Pop.
SGA with a three, hits the three.
On the dribble weave to Matherin, smothered by Wiggins, left corner Toppin, catches your ring.
Deals it to the top. Siakam swings it to the other side of the floor.
Quick ball movement, and Obi Toppin as the shot clock expired. Dort comes right back. Dort's got 5 threes.
Gildas Alexander down lane. Holmgren is free to dunk.
Mathurin shaken up on that play. Stolen by Williams. Bad pass, a turnover, and a costly one.
The Pacers fought hard, but still found themselves in a 15-point hole with just under 10 minutes remaining to play in Game 1.
Nembhard, Haliburton, Turner. Nembhard gets inside. Count it at one. Toppin, three-pointer. Puts it in. Obi Toppin, his fifth three-pointer. He's got 17 points in 21 minutes. Turner's sidestep. Banks in the three. Miles Turner. It's a 4-point game.
Nembhard steps back, still bouncing, moving to his left.
Nembhard steps back, three-pointer. Got it! Three-pointer from SGA, the drive inside. Shot blocked. Wallace, step back, three-pointer. Short, rebound, the follow, Siakam.
After Siakam's clutch layup with 48 seconds left made it a 1-point game, Hallie had the ball in his hands yet again with the game on the line.
The Pacers are not going to call the timeout. Haliburton has it with 3.
Final seconds, no fouls to give. Haliburton looking. Haliburton driving, pulls up, jump shot.
Pulling up and hitting.
It's gone! It's gone! With 0.3 of a second remaining.
At this point, nothing about Haliburton's late-game heroics were a surprise. Everyone knew where the ball was going to be in the game's closing moments. And still, the best defenses in the league could not stop him.
Because Tyrese Haliburton is unequivocally having the greatest run of clutch shooting we have seen in the history of the sport.
Despite all the criticism along the way, there was now no more room for doubt.
Do you believe it now, Trinity?
Game 1 theatrics aside, we still had a finals to finish. The Thunder locked in for Game 2 and saved the split at home. SGA poured in 34 points, 8 assists, and 4 steals for OKC in that win.
10 to shoot.
Gildas Alexander, jumper, got it.
Nothing but that. A Shea special. A mid-range master splashes. He's got 8. Thunder up 15 again, 44-29. 6 minutes left till halftime.
Gildas Alexander off the bounce, gets inside, double clutch, counted at a foul. His third three-pointer. SGA against Mathurin, falling away, jump shot is good. He's got 12 of them here in the fourth quarter. Gildas Alexander gets inside, draws the foul, banks it home. Another 30. The NBA Finals are tied at 1 game apiece.
Game 3, the series shifted to the Gainbridge Fieldhouse, where the Indy faithful were waiting.
Holmgren gets it, pulls up, and Chet Holmgren off to an excellent start. Haliburton, the floater's up, beautiful shot from Tyrese Haliburton. McConnell pushes, kicks it out. Mathurin fakes, fires, hits a three. Topping off the bounce, goes inside. Haliburton, Nembhard, straight on, three-pointer, got it. Over OKC, Jalen Williams crossover inside, top move, Adam.
They have full court pressure applied.
Gildas Alexander steps back and nails the three. Jalen Williams, nice feed, and Holmgren the finish and a foul. Boy, Jalen Williams does a great job on the run, finding the open man.
Right, it's the first thing he looks for.
Hartenstein off the glass.
Away with one right there.
Mathurin inside, left-handed, off the glass. The Mathurin magic here in Game 3. Williams gets inside, beautiful move, that left hand.
OKC's youthful big three of SGA, J-Dub, and Chet all went for 20-plus on the road in Game 3. But they still fell to Indiana on the road, who was ignited by a 22-point, 11-assist, and 9-rebound performance from Haliburton and a 27-point eruption from Benedict Mathurin off the bench.
Back to Holmgren. Holmgren three-pointer blocked by Turner. Holmgren gets it back with 4 to shoot. Holmgren down the lane, the runner. It's going the other way. Holmgren thought he was fouled. The Pacers dream of their first NBA title very much alive. They're 2 wins away from a championship.
However, the Thunder would not go away quietly. They won both games 4 and 5 to take a 3-2 series lead. The duo of SGA and J-Dub was too much for Indiana to handle.
Siakam got a little sloppy with a dribble. Williams running ahead of the pack, goes in and throws it down.
He got away with the foul, but Shea sizes him up, ducking in the lane.
Gildas Alexander gets in the paint. Tough shot, got it.
Prince in this third quarter.
Gildas Alexander, he wants this one. Falling away, puts it up. Pascal Siakam, he's got 19. And they turn it over. Siakam down the other end, throws it. Contact. Nembhard kicks it out, stolen by SGA.
Shea the steal, Troll over Holmgren. Driving left, down the lane to the rim, lays it up left-handed, lays it home.
The pair combined for 71 points in Game 5, with Williams scoring 40 of those himself.
And a chance for a 3-point play. Williams Williams to the rack, high off the glass, it's good! He did it again! 37 points! Neesmith rattles one home.
Jalen sizing up Neesmith, working the angle right.
Williams has been hot all night, falling away. Got it! 40 points for Jalen.
Worse for Indiana, Haliburton had aggravated a, quote, right calf strain in the first quarter of Game 5. He was ineffective for the rest of the game, and his availability for Game 6 was in serious doubt. Despite troubling MRI results, Hallie, the ultimate competitor, suited up for Game 6 in Indiana, where the Pacers had a chance to survive another day.
Turner gets it back. He's surrounded, blocked by Hartenstein. Picked up by Siakam. Jump shot is good. Siakam gives them their first field goal. They were 0 for 8 to start. Siakam on the attack, counted, and a foul. Back-to-back buckets and a chance. Turner goes high for the rebound. Haliburton's going to try. Finally gets one to go. Tyrese Haliburton from downtown. Timeout, Thunder.
Haliburton has it. A three from the left edge.
Step back, three-pointer. It's good. His second three-pointer of the game. And the lead back up to 6. Neesmith the three. Puts it in. To get back to throwing those floaters up. Jalen Williams throws it away. Haliburton comes up with it.
Jalen Williams has his pass deflected. Haliburton steals it.
Cross court, Siakam for the slam.
He got it to Siakam, who threw down the right-hand tomahawk. It's a 20-point lead.
It's deafening. Again, just great team basketball. Beautiful pass, Turner. They are dismantling OKC. Shepherd running the floor, layup.
In their last game of the season playing in front of their home crowd, the Pacers destroyed the Thunder, winning 108-91 in a game that wasn't even that close.
The magic carpet ride for the Pacers is not over. They'll play for an NBA title on Sunday night in Game 7, and it will be Oklahoma City's turn to respond.
For the second time in his career, Rick Carlisle had led a team that no one believed in nationally at the start of the year to the doorstep of NBA immortality. In the 4 years of Carlisle's second stint with Indiana, the team jumped from a 20-win team in year 1 to a 30-win team in year 2 to a 40-win team in year 3 to now a 50-win title contender in year 4. The 2025 Pacers were starting to remind basketball fans of the great, cohesive teams built on chemistry that had won the finals in the past. Teams like the Trader Jack McCloskey Bad Boy Pistons, Larry Brown's 2004 Pistons, and Carlisle's 2011 Dallas Mavericks. These teams and the 2025 Pacers all had star power in their own rights, but it was these teams' depth, defensive identities, and uncanny cohesion from top to bottom that gave them the edge to defeat the NBA's elite. They were a team that no one took seriously until they made you take them seriously. And that brings us to the two best words in sports, Game 7. No one knew what to expect from an obviously reeling Haliburton, but when the game tipped off, something truly amazing started to happen.
Back out, Siakam, Haliburton lines up a long three-pointer, got it! Haliburton launches another one, puts it in, back-to-back threes for Tyrese Haliburton. Dazzle from Dort. Haliburton tries again. Haliburton hits again, his third three-pointer already.
Like Isaiah Thomas against the Lakers in 1988, Hallie was taking over the NBA Finals, all while playing on one leg. He was striking Klay Thompson levels of fear into the OKC crowd when suddenly...
Back three, Haliburton falls down. He looks hurt. Here comes SGA the other way, inside, and Williams throws it down. Haliburton's hurt right away when he fell. Of course, that strained calf. He's in pain, so emotional. He talked about the risk as you see the entire team surrounding him.
Now this is sick. One of the most lovable players in this league.
Just like that, with one swift pop, Tyrese Haliburton's season was over. He had torn his Achilles, a serious injury, one that always rules out an NBA player for at least one full year. As he left the court, with him went the heart and soul of the Pacers' entire organization. On the court, Indiana stayed strong in the immediate aftermath of the crushing blow, clinging to a 48-47 halftime lead in Game 7. But ultimately, the loss of Hallie was just too much to overcome for Indiana. Without him, the Pacers just couldn't muster the creation necessary to best OKC's swarming defensive attack. They fell 103-91 and watched as a different team's superstar point guard delivered his city their first Larry O'Brien trophy.
The Thunder have taken the NBA by storm. For the first time, the NBA champion resides in Oklahoma City. The storybook season is complete.
The magical 2025 chapter of the Tyrese Haliburton era in Indiana was done. They fought, scraped, and clawed their way to new heights that season, but the last memory of the run would be Hallie going down in Game 7.
That's not fair. That's not fair at all.
The 2025 Indiana Pacers represented everything that basketball fans truly love. They were built not on star power, flashy signings, or hyper-analytics. They were built on defense, cohesion, and grit. They feasted off an offensive system where no man was considered more important than the other, creating a uniquely unpredictable attack where the opposing defense never knew who was going to be the team's leading scorer on any given night. Their defense went from one of the poorest in the league to one of the most feared, anchored by a tough-as-nails front-court tandem that gave even the best bigs in the league major fits. They were assembled with no major free agent swings and no top-5 draft picks. Instead, they banked on an array of mostly upperclassmen and guys who had been abandoned by the original teams that drafted them. And they were led by a selfless, clutch showman who never once backed down from any of the challenges befalling him. Watching them succeed in the NBA playoffs felt less like watching an NBA club and more like watching a great Cinderella March Madness run. The kind of run where a school from the middle of nowhere with no resources and no reputation shocks the world with a string of late-game heroics that propel them to the Final Four.
That's it. There's a new member of the Final Four Club, and they hail from Lubbock, Texas.
But this team's Cinderella status only existed due to doubt and misunderstandings. This was not David trying to defeat Goliath, and this was not St. Peter's trying to take down the mighty Tar Heels in 2022. The 2025 Pacers were a great team. When Haliburton went down in Game 7, Indiana was not just robbed of a championship, the basketball world was robbed of a satisfying conclusion to one of the truly great heavyweight battles in the history of the NBA Finals. While basketball purists cling to the stories of the triangle offense and Calipari defensive slides leading to championships, make no mistake, the NBA is a stars league. 90% of the time, the team that wins the NBA Finals does so because they have one or more of the league's top 5 players in that given season. That is why teams like the Bad Boys, the 2004 Pistons, and the 2011 Mavericks tend to resonate differently with fans. These types of great teams only come around once every 10 or 15 years, and you never know where the next one is going to be. It feels like there is a lack of justice in the way that the 2025 Pacers were ripped away from us. People flock to sports in large part because, for better or worse, they always have some form of finite conclusion. When the clock strikes 0, someone will have won and someone will have lost. They provide us with the kind of satisfying conclusions that are increasingly rare to find around the world in everyday life. We were robbed of a satisfying conclusion to one of the greatest finals of all time when Hallie's Achilles tore, shining a light on a rising epidemic that has been plaguing the league. Just as it looked like the rising, clutchest athlete in the world was going to deliver one of the all-time great performances, the opportunity slipped through his fingertips. With one fatal pop, the dream of delivering Indiana its first Larry O'Brien trophy in 2025 was gone. Haliburton going down the way he did, when he did, feels tragic.
You came this close. I mean, it would kill some men to get that close to their dream and not touch it. God, they'd consider it a tragedy.
It wasn't even this tragic for the actual Achilles. Yes, he perished when he took an arrow to the, you guessed it, Achilles, but he only did so after his campaign in the Trojan War ended in complete victory for the Greeks. That did not happen here. Our hero slayed his Prince Hector outside the gates, but there was no war won for Hallie. Instead, just a long, unfulfilling year of rehab. Just like Icarus, he had flown just a hair too close to the sun by agreeing to give it a go in Game 7, and regrettably paid the price.
That's not fair. That's not fair at all. There was time now.
Still, the Pacers did not leave 2025 with nothing. It may have taken a year longer than necessary, but Hallie and the team finally earned the respect of a nation. With a healthy Haliburton back for the 2027 playoffs, no one will overlook this version of the Indiana Pacers ever again. They also succeeded in reigniting one of the sport's greatest rivalries. Few matchups going forward will draw more attention than any game or series involving Brunson's Knicks and Haliburton's Pacers. Everything about the Pacers' run to Game 7 felt magical. You gotta understand, it's rare for second-round picks like Nembhard to make such drastic defensive leaps. It's rare for flyer trade acquisitions to become one of the great clutch floor spacers in the NBA game today. It's rare for an offensive system as unique as the Pacers to thrive without a single 25-point-per-game player on the roster. And it had been unprecedented for a player to hit a game winner in 4 straight playoff series.
Haliburton driving, pulls off, jump shot, pulling up, and hitting! It's good! It's good!
The Indiana Pacers went on one of the greatest and most memorable runs in the history of basketball in the 2025 playoffs. While their push ultimately came up short, the team has earned the right to be looked at in a new light going forward. Everything about this franchise, from top to bottom, operates at a higher level than previously expected. They have cemented themselves as the face of Commissioner Adam Silver's new NBA, a league where depth is king. They have tethered a new generation of young, iPad-loving Hoosiers to their basketball-crazed forefathers, and they have proven unequivocally that they may have lost Miles Turner to a Richard deal in free agency, and they may still be a long ways back from seeing their superstar point guard back on the court. But anyone paying attention to this story going on in Indianapolis should feel confident betting on Haliburton's ability to overachieve going forward. As mediocre as this team might look now, when he is back on the court, the Pacers will immediately be championship contenders again, assuming they can keep the majority of the 2025 core still together. If you ask me, odds are Hallie will be back a hair sooner than expected, with the chip on his shoulder bigger than ever, running Indiana's offense like a smooth jazz song again, heading into the playoffs of 2027.